Have you ever seen someone get exactly what they deserve? Well, get ready for a story that proves karma is very, very real. This is the story of two young siblings, Leo and Mia, and their uncle, a man whose greed knew no bounds. It's a tale of betrayal, resilience, and the kind of justice you only see in movies. But this, my friends, is a true story. It all started on a bleak, rainy afternoon, the day Leo and Mia's world was turned upside down. Their father, a kind and respected businessman, had passed away suddenly. The grief was overwhelming, a heavy blanket that suffocated their small home. In their moment of deepest sorrow, their uncle, Richard, arrived. He wasn't there to offer comfort or a shoulder to cry on. No, he came with a briefcase full of papers and a smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. He told the grieving children, barely teenagers, that their father had left behind massive debts. He painted a grim picture, claiming creditors were circling like vultures, ready to take everything. "Don't worry," he'd said, patting their heads with a cold hand. "I'll handle everything. I'll take over the family business and this house to settle the debts. It's the only way to protect you." Leo and Mia, naive and trusting, believed him. They signed papers they didn't understand, handing over their entire inheritance to the one person they thought they could trust. Within weeks, they were forced out of their childhood home. Uncle Richard moved his own family in, enjoying the fruits of his brother's hard work. He sold off parts of the business, pocketing the profits, and lived a life of luxury. Meanwhile, Leo and Mia were sent to a tiny, run-down apartment on the other side of town. Richard would occasionally drop off a meager amount of cash, just enough for instant noodles and bread, reminding them how lucky they were to have him. The emotional toll was immense. Their school friends, who once admired them, now pitted them. The whispers in the hallways were cruel. "Did you hear? Their uncle took everything." Leo, once a confident boy, became withdrawn and angry. Mia cried herself to sleep most nights. The world felt cold and unjust. Their uncle's betrayal was a wound that refused to heal. He didn't just steal their property. He stole their security, their childhood, and their faith in family. One evening, huddled together for warmth in their small apartment, Leo looked at his sister's tear-streaked face and felt a fire ignite within him. He was done being a victim. "Mia," he said, his voice firm, "we can't let him win. We have to fight back. Not with anger, but with success. We'll build our own future, one so bright it will blind him." That night, they made a pact. They would study harder than ever before, work tirelessly, and reclaim not the money, but their family's honor. Life was a struggle. Leo took on odd jobs after school, delivering newspapers, washing dishes, anything to earn a little extra money. Mia excelled in her studies, her sharp mind a weapon against their circumstances. They supported each other, sharing every small victory and comforting each other through every setback. While their uncle was hosting lavish parties in their old home, Leo and Mia were sharing a single textbook under a flickering light bulb, dreaming of a better tomorrow. Years flew by. The struggle was real, but their determination was stronger. Leo, with his natural charisma and business sense inherited from his father, managed to get a scholarship to a prestigious business school. Mia, with her incredible intellect, pursued a degree in law. They were a dynamic duo, driven by a shared purpose. They knew that education was their only way out, their only path to justice. After graduating, Leo didn't start with a big corporation. He started small, with a tiny tech startup he co-founded with a college friend. They worked out of a garage, fueled by cheap coffee and an unwavering belief in their idea. The first few years were grueling. There were times they were on the brink of failure, moments when giving up seemed like the only option. But then Leo would remember his uncle's smug face, and the fire would roar back to life. Meanwhile, Mia became a formidable lawyer. She specialized in corporate law and inheritance disputes, a choice fueled by her own past trauma. She wanted to be the voice for those who had been wronged, the champion for the cheated and deceived. Her reputation grew quickly. She was known for her sharp mind, her relentless pursuit of truth, and her deep empathy for her clients. Leo's startup finally had its breakthrough. Their innovative software caught the attention of a major investor. Suddenly, the boy who once couldn't afford a proper meal was the CEO of a rapidly growing company. Success didn't change him, though. It only strengthened his resolve. He used his newfound wealth to invest wisely and expand his business empire, always remembering the lessons of humility and hard work he'd learned. One day, Mia called Leo with a tremor in her voice. "I found it, Leo. I found the proof." While reviewing old public records for a case, she had stumbled upon documents related to their father's estate. She discovered that their father had no debts. In fact, he had left them a substantial, well-managed portfolio. Uncle Richard's story was a complete fabrication, a cold, calculated lie designed to steal everything from two grieving children. The evidence was undeniable. With Mia's legal expertise and the original documents she'd uncovered, they had a rock-solid case. But they didn't want a simple court victory. They wanted to expose Richard for who he truly was. By this time, Uncle Richard's life had taken a turn. He had mismanaged the business he stole, making a series of bad investments. His lavish lifestyle was built on a crumbling foundation of debt. His own children, raised in entitlement, were spoiled and had no respect for him. He was a man drowning in his own greed, desperately trying to keep up appearances. The final confrontation wasn't in a courtroom. It was at a large family gathering. Richard, trying to maintain his image as the benevolent patriarch, was holding court when Leo and Mia walked in. They were no longer the scared, broken children he had cast aside. They were confident, successful adults, radiating power and grace. In front of everyone, Leo calmly began to speak. He didn't shout or accuse. He simply told their story, the story of two orphans, a fabricated debt, and a stolen inheritance. As he spoke, a hush fell over the room. Then, Mia stepped forward and presented the documents, the proof of their father's true will, the evidence of Richard's fraud. The fallout was immediate and catastrophic for Richard. The family and community, who had once respected him, now looked at him with contempt. His business partners abandoned him, his creditors closed in, and he lost everything: the house, the business, the stolen wealth. But his greatest loss was his reputation and the respect of his own family. He became a social outcast, a living ghost haunted by his own treachery. He ended up alone, impoverished, and filled with regret, a shadow of the man he pretended to be. Leo and Mia didn't take back the house. They had built their own homes, their own lives. They established a charitable foundation in their father's name, helping underprivileged children get the education and support they need. They turned their pain into purpose, their tragedy into a source of strength for others. Their story serves as a powerful reminder that no matter how dark the present seems, your future is unwritten. It shows that integrity, hard work, and resilience are the true keys to success. Greed and deceit might offer a shortcut, but it's a path that always leads to a dead end. Leo and Mia didn't just reclaim their family's honor. They built a legacy far greater than anything their uncle could ever have stolen. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories that inspires and empowers. Ainimate Tales,